Yes, to end lecture 1, lecture 2, and lecture 3, there's need for me to point out some areas where you need to study very well because, like I said at the beginning, that linguistics LR 104, which is linguistics 2, is more practical than LR 103. So, but LR 104 has some of its other what's it called, the theoretical aspect of it that you need to read ahead. So for my students, I would advise you that there are areas that are linguistic jargons that you need to understand in LR 104 as well. By taking note of all this, they will really assist you in your examination. In the area of distinctive features, which we are going to talk about later when we get there, when we get to that lecture, it also has its own theoretical aspects which you need to read and comprehend. But for lecture 1, 2, and 3, I need to tell you that you need to read up this area of morph, amorph, analomorph, morpheme, then linguistics itself, which is scientific study of speech sound. So understand the differences between linguistics itself, morph, allomorph, and morpheme very, very well. It is very, very important you understand this. And as well, you need to understand the difference between theoretical and applied linguistics. The difference between theoretical and applied linguistics, which I have taught you earlier in lecture 1. So you need to know this it is very, very important you know the difference. Remember, I've told you that the scholars that have grouped them into 3, don't bother to read about the second grouping, which is group B or group C. Just go straight to the difference between theoretical and applied linguistics. Know the difference very, very well, like I taught you in the previous lecture. Now, also, you need to understand the morphs that we have discussed. If you are given question on morphs, how do you identify it? If you are given a particular morpheme or a particular morph, to identify the realization, especially when it comes to words like missed, when it comes to words like mended, when it comes to words like painted, when it comes to words like packed, when it comes to words like weight, when it comes to words like cleaned. All these are in my past questions. Read them very well and understand the kind of realization that come after them. For instance, when you have missed, you see what is sounding, the word, the physical property that is sounding there is missed. It is ta that is sounding in mist. Then in painted, the realization is it, id, it. And in mended, the same thing is in mended, it. So in packed, what is sounding there is packed. Then in weight, what is sounding there is the weight. Then in cleaned, what is sounding there is also cleaned, the. So if you have understood this, you don't have problem in your class and in your examination. So the last but not the least, when it comes to lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3, it has to do with questions that are normally asked in my past question as well. I do set this question. I may set it this year, I may not set it. It depends on what my spirit brings to me. So the question is, all words are morpheme, but not all morphemes are words. All words are morpheme, but not all morphemes are words. When we say all words are morpheme, yes, all words are morphemes. All the words that you have known before, like go, like come, like tell, like play. And all these words, such as nouns, as in when you have book, chalk, fan, desk, cell phone, paper, scissors, all these words are also morphemes. Why are they morphemes? Is because they are the smallest indivisible meaningful unit of grammar that can never be further divided. You cannot divide book into two. Neither can you divide desk into two. You cannot divide chalk into two. It won't be meaningful. If you divide chalk and you say CH should be separated from ALK, it won't make any sense. ALK doesn't make sense. CH itself will not make any sense. So all those independent morphemes, all those independent morphemes that can stand on their own, they are free morpheme. They are independent morpheme. They can stand on their own. All those words, they are also morpheme because they cannot be further divided. That's why we say all words are morpheme. The maxim goes further to say all words are morpheme, but not all morphemes are words. Yes, not all morphemes are words. The simple reason is because we have some morphemes that are dependent. They are attached, they are dependent, they cannot stand on their own. Like on. You know, on is a prefix which has to be added with happy to make it unhappy. Ill, IL, is also a prefix. It doesn't make any sense, or else you use it with legal and become illegal. Human is a is independent morpheme, but D in front of human, DE in front of human is called dependent morpheme, as in the human, DEHUMANE, the human. You understand this now? So when we are talking about dependence and independence, there comes the issue of this maxim that all words are morpheme and not all morphemes are words. All those dependent morpheme like ness, NESS, like LY in quickly, in slowly, all those LY, all those ness, all those on, all those ill, which are prefixes and suffixes, are also morphemes, but they are not words. Therefore, we say all morphemes are not words. We are referring to independent morphemes. They cannot be words. But all words are morpheme. Those are the independent morpheme that can stand on their own. They are morphemes and they are also words. Please, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow students, take note of all these aspects. I will use that to end lecture 1, lecture 2, and lecture 3. So we are moving to lecture 4, lecture 1, lecture 2, sorry. So we are moving to lecture 3, which is phonemes. We are starting off with phonemes in our next class. Thank you and God bless.